Hello, hello. Pamela here with Passionate About Scrapbooking, your Stampin' Up demonstrator in the Texas Hill Country in Fredericksburg, Texas. Welcome to tonight's live, I think Jeff is about to walk in the door, to the Restoring Joy Through Scrapbooking YouTube and Facebook live series. I'm so excited about tonight's featured suite, which is the Hobby Haven Suite Collection. We used it last week, and this week we're going to have even more fun. So give me 1 second. Okay, maybe he's not here. I don't know. So if you're joining me, I've been playing with my hair. Of course, it's not completely dry right now, and I've been cutting on my hair myself. So I hope I haven't totally messed it all up, but tonight you get kind of a light makeup, wet hair look. Sorry about that. Figured I would show my face, say hello, and visit for a few minutes. So if you're joining me, say hello. Let me know where you're viewing from. I've got Lady over here distracting me because Jeff must have driven up. And I didn't remind him that I was going live at 6 p.m. It's 6 p.m. in the Texas Hill Country. And I'm excited about sharing a scrapbooking layout that I've created using the Hobby Haven Suite Collection along with the on display bundle. So there's a stamp set along with the bundle. Look at all the pieces that are in there. So I spent all afternoon working on the stamping and the die cutting and laying out my scrapbook page. So we'll get started here in just a few minutes. So much fun stuff is going on with Stampin' Up right now. And I'm going to check real quick before I share any more that I'm live where I need to be. And I'm also, I don't know if I can, see if I can cut out. Yeah, I do have noise cancellation. All right, so let me check on Facebook real quick, make sure my volume's down. Let's see. All right, everything should be good. Give me a thumbs up that you can hear me okay. And we'll get started here in just a minute. So I've already played, like I said, with the on display bundle. There's lots of little bits and pieces. You can stamp, you can die cut, and create the cutest little cabinet or display. There's lots of different ways you can do it. I'm just going to show you one tonight and how you fill your display with all the cute little elements. Like there are, I'll put it over here, there are books and plants and a cat, birds, bottles, pictures, flags, even you can create a little globe. And then you've got some sentiments, so you can use this for card making as well. I'm going to be just doing the scrapbooking layout today. Hello, how are you? You have to remind me what your name is. I recognize your face, but I can't think of what your name is. Stamped in ink. I want to say it starts with a J, but I might be wrong. And it's not coming to me. Okay, what else do we have? Let's see, it's November 13th. And for demonstrators, Stampin' Up! Just released the brand new January through April 2026 mini catalog yesterday. Hello, Maria. How are you doing? Christy. Thank you. No, it's Jana in Corpus Christi. Sorry, I just saw Christy at the end. And it's full of tons of wonderful product. Demonstrators will be able to order it come the 18th, I believe. And it won't go live to customers until January 4th. So we're not going there yet, but I won't be playing with those products for a while. So we're working with the November 2025 online exclusives. So if you're joining me, say hello. Let me know where you're viewing from. I see Maria over on Facebook and Jana. I said Jay, right? I knew it was right there. In Corpus Christi, she's a Texas girl too. And when I hopped on, I just said that have like fresh, clean hair. I've been cutting on my hair. I've gotten a little bit shorter, just not in the back, I don't think. I need to work on the back some. But, when you're cutting your own hair, it's kind of hard to cut the back. All right, so I think I'm going to flip the camera over. Oh, I'm so glad you caught me live, Maria. And show you what we have to play with tonight. I'll try to remember to come back to my face at the end. I always forget. So this is what my hair should look like, but I think I've gotten it to look like that like one time. And it looks a little bit more like that once it's dry. It kind of gets poofy and everything, but that's my profile picture. I'm scrapbooking tonight about my craft studio and how I restored it. Changed some things around a month or two ago. Y'all may have seen my stories on Instagram and Facebook and some of the things I shared about moving out some tables. And I moved in this standing cabinet. So it has doors on the front and I can store lots of things inside there. And I've really been enjoying it. I had to get something where I could stand some because my tailbone was hurting a lot while I was sitting. Now, standing, my back hurts a lot, but it's either my back or my tailbone. So I just have to take breaks and sit down occasionally to rest my back. And I guess I need to do some core exercises to strengthen my core. And maybe I won't have that problem anymore. So that's on my list of things to do. So tell me how y'all have been and what y'all have been up to. I know a lot of demonstrators have been off to Las Vegas for the backstage event. I didn't get to go because I'm not a silver elite yet. So working on that goal this next year. And then Tuesday, they just announced the new artisan design team for 2026. And I'm so grateful and blessed and happy that I was chosen to participate in another year. So my second term, we're allowed to serve 2 terms in a row, and then you have to take a break. So I'm really thrilled that I get to go for another year, and I can't wait to see what some of the new goodies are that they'll be sending me to work with for 2026. So awesome to find out who the other team members are. So if you want to know, if you're not a demonstrator and you're a customer, you can message me a comment and I'll share you. They just gave us a PDF graphic, and I think I did save it as photos so that I can share the rest of the team members. But you can see it also on social media if you go to hashtag Artisan Design Team 2026 or Stampin' Up Artisan 2026, something like that. Lots of the ladies are posting on social medias, Instagram and Facebook, that they've been part of the team as well. So excited. I'll be serving with 19 other demonstrators from across the world. and 6 of us are returning from the 2025 design team. So that's super exciting to be able to continue that journey, but then also to meet some new ladies. So really excited about that. Okay, so let's get started because we're about 10 minutes in. I have most everything prepped, I think. I've got my paper cut, my photos printed. The only thing I didn't quite get done was my journaling. I got ChatGPT to help me with that a little bit. And I have some plugged into my word processor, but I haven't printed it yet because I may need to, I'm not sure how I'm going to incorporate it. I'm thinking I'm going to do some hidden tags for the journaling because I used up most of the space for photos. Again, we're using the on display bundle stamp set. Look at all those fun things. I didn't do a lot of stamping, just a tiny bit. And then I'm going to show you how you can use these maybe as well. And then the dies cuts out this big, let me see if I can find an extra one that I cut out. I'm not sure if I can. Yeah, there we go. 1 second. It's like stuck under my tripod. There we go. So this is cut out with the Country Woods paper. Guess you could do it either way if you wanted to, which is cool. And then it has a piece that goes up on the top. This is just an extra one I had. And I was looking, I think you can even make, I saw that they had a card with it going this way and it had a handle over here. So it could almost look like a cabinet that you could like open the door to or something. So you could make it like a display with some acetate, the window sheet behind it, if you wanted to. And I was trying to figure out how could I maybe make like a TV stand or something. You could do something like this where you cut this part off and just had a little stand here. And there's some pieces like a sewing machine that you maybe could set up on top, but I didn't go that route this time. I have a lot of bits and pieces over here. When you cut those out, this piece out too, what's really neat is that all these pieces end up being little labels that you can stamp on. Or you can make drawers, like this one goes here. You could turn that into a drawer, and I actually did that on my sample tonight. But look, you got little labels that you can use to stamp these little sentiments on. So pretty clever if you ask me. I love that multi-purpose use. So I've got my photos here. You can probably see a little sneak peek of my cabinet. I've already put my cabinet together because it's kind of time consuming, deciding what goes where, decorating what paper to cut out. But I'll show it to you here in just a second. So you have to hang around. So give me a thumbs up if you want to see my little cabinet, and I'll show that to you. So I've got pictures of how this photo, my calyx wasn't redesigned yet, but I figured that this is the most recent, best picture I'd taken, and it wasn't going to be that noticeable. Most people probably wouldn't know that it's not the same. And then this is after I reconfigured everything in my calyx. And then we have a photo here of before I brought in the standing cabinet, which I've had, I didn't even realize this, y'all. I've had this for like almost 20 years. And it was in my scrapbook room, which was, I had custom cabinets and it was super awesome in my house back in Cristobal. And then when Jeff and I got married, I moved to Fredericksburg, so I had to give all that up. And then I've been using this kitchen nook that we have. And over the years, it has transformed. And then when I became a Stampin' Up demonstrator, I bought this big calyx unit and absolutely love this. This is the best thing, one of the best things I've ever done in this space. And then again, I redesigned all that. And then there's a good view of the kitchen nook. So I've got some iris These were from the Container Store, I think. I had my Close to My Heart items in there, stamp sets in there, and that's exactly why I purchased it. And then shortly, about a year later, is when Close to My Heart announced they were shutting down. So I'm still kind of figuring out what to do with that. But I configured this space so that I just left those there and put in that standing cabinet. I have a table here with some iris totes that have like old album retreats from Close to My Heart, but then also new suites in here as well. And then what else? And then I've got my lighting set up. And then here is a little bit better picture of where I'm standing right here, right now. So my chair, though, goes over here to be out of the way because I can't really use it with my standing position table. And just all the windows I have, which I keep them closed most of the time unless it's a decent day, like weather-wise, or it gets too hot if I have the blinds open. And then here's a picture of my new artisan box. Token gifts that they give us. They give us a tin. You can see the one from 2025 back there. And then a box that has our engraved stamp in it. I think I can actually share a little close-up of it real quick, but that's my new artisan stamp set. So I can stamp that on the back of my projects, which is, you hate to use it because it's so pretty, but I did end up using my one for 2025. And so it's well loved. It still looks good. You can tell that it's aged a little bit. When you look at the back, you can see, yes, I used it. But I tried to be real careful to keep it pristine on the front. I think I did a pretty good job. And then the plaque that is in the photo back here, I don't know that you can really even see it. We get that at On Stage. So I didn't get to go on stage this last year, so they mailed it to me, but I have plans to go this year. So I'm so excited about that. All right, so there are all my photos. I still have to have my journaling, but there is that cute cabinet. Let's look at it. So I decided to put it together. At first, I was just going to do a prototype and then maybe make a card with this. But after I got it all done, I was like, I don't have time to cut all these pieces again right now. So I just decided to put it together. And you can see I put the negative place back in there, and it has these little, this is the earthen toned metallic paper, I think is what that's called. So you can create what looks like little cabinets or doors or something. And I used the colors that are in let me see if I have some of the paper. Here it is. This paper right here, which is kind of the hobby paper. So it's got the ribbon, yarn, scissors, sewing machine, sewing patterns, cross stitch, just all kinds of goodies in here. And I fussy cut some of the pieces out. And you can see, like right here, I did one of the earthen tone metallic pots. It has a little lid that comes with it, so I just left the lid off. And then fussy cut out some of the pieces, like the paintbrush and the scissors right there, along with some DMC floss. There's one little thing of floss there, and then some paint. These are like little sewing bobbins, I think you call them. And then I just cut those out of the paper. I cut this little pin cushion out of the paper as well. And then I stamped the cat. Now this color is not in this collection, but I picked a peach pie so that it would look like pumpkin. And I think it will look just fine on here. It's just very minimal. I chose to do the greenery, like the fern, using the Coastal Cabana. And look what I did, y'all. Look at that. I printed a tiny little photo of Jeff and I. That's my favorite photo of us, and I cut it and put it inside the frame to personalize it a little bit. There's a globe here, and I did the metallic paper for the stand just to have a little bit of metallic paper going across. And then to bring in all the colors of the DSP paper, so I cut out the books out of willow white cardstock, and then I colored them with the stamping blend markers. I had crumb cake, Cajun craze, and petal pink. I think I think the crumb cake is dark, and the other two are the light shades. So what do you think? Tell me what you think. Isn't that the cutest? Made one little area with the flowers stamped in petal pink. So I'm super excited about this. It's going to add a lot to the page. And I ended up using this only to do like little fussy cut pieces. And maybe, yeah, I used just a tiny bit of the back to cut out some tags. So all of those little goodies are in here from the Creative Haven dies. So these are all our bits and pieces, and even have my title ready. So let's move some things around, and we will get started assemblies because it should go together pretty quickly tonight since I have everything prepped, which I'm so glad I did, or it would be crazy. So let me know if you're interested in seeing me stamp anything. I can give you some tips and tricks on a few of the things. And if you have any questions about this on display bundle, let me know. All right. Hello, Cherise. I had to scroll up to see you. All right, so I'm moving some things around. Gonna get this straight if I can. I'm using crumb cake two-tone cardstock. I'm gonna get it straight on my table, and then let's see, I think I'll just do it like that to keep it pretty simple. Okay, and I've got some white willow cardstock cut. I'm using, I think these are both the same size, some of this gorgeous paper. I planned it out so that I still have a full sheet or close to a full sheet of this paper because I want to be able to create some more layouts with a different theme. I know I want to do this one with Bevan because there was a stage she was at where she loved plants, and we would go to Kerrville together and go to Lowe's so she could buy plants. And I have some really great pictures that are going to work perfect for this. So in the coming week or two, I will share those. All right, so I know I'm going to put some over here and there. Let me move this out of the way. This is going over here. I'll give you some measurements. I just kind of came up with this sketch on my own because I knew I wanted this to be up over in this area, then I'm going to have a title area over here, and then photos going all around here with a couple of hidden tags in there as well, I think. Now, I do think I'm going to cut this down. I just need to figure out what size it is first. But before we do that, let's go ahead and get this paper down. Actually, I want to do this first because I'm going right to the edge here, and then I'm just going to have the 1/4 inch border around 3 sides. So this is some of our Country Woods paper. I thought this would be really pretty with the colors. And the back, you could use the back too, but I really liked the white, so I'm doing it. All right, so I'm gonna just lay this here. And I can cut this off it's gonna be 5 3/4 inches. 5 3/4 inches. So actually I could get that out of one of these if I do 2 of them, and I'll be able to save a little paper. So we're going to do it like that. And then 5 3/4, 5 3/4. That worked perfect. At least I hope it did. So let's take this piece out, and I can save it for something else, probably my journaling. I'm going to do this on the bottom. Okay, so I think that's good. So I think, yeah. So all these 4 pieces, they are 6 inches by 5 3/4 inches. Okay, it goes up to right there if you want to make any notes. We'll go ahead and adhere these. I'm going to keep this pretty clean and simple because there's going to be a lot going on. I think it's going to be pretty full because I'm filling it up with photos. And we'll see. Maybe I want to do something right here, some treatment behind there because I'm going to have a photo here. We'll see. All right, so now this one. Hi, Serena. How are you? She's going to be my partner in crime next year. Serena is a fellow artisan design team member. So y'all should go check her out on YouTube. She does the most beautiful wreaths, stamped wreaths, and makes the prettiest projects out of them. All right. And then we can put this one now too. So start over here, and then you'll know you should get a 1/4 inch all the way around here. It's so hard sometimes to cover up this pretty paper, but I guess I could always order more, couldn't we? All right, so I'm gonna set that there. So same mirrored image background for our pages. You don't always have to do that, but it sure does make it simple when you do it that way. Oh, and then I wanted to use this too. I want to put this down next. Since it's the petal pink, I'm assuming that it is still available. It was part of the Painterly Pear bundle, I think. I was going to look, see if maybe I could see. Braided ribbon. Yep, so this is still available. So pull out your stash if you have it. I know some more. I don't think I have it in here. I was going to look. There's actually been quite a bit of petal pink ribbon this past year, I think it is. I have 2 others in here as well that would work. This one was scalloped ribbon. That would be real pretty too. And then this was a bundle with some white ribbon, but I really like this one. And we might take some apart to put in the top of our tags that we have over here that I've cut as well. So I've already cut pieces right now for each page. Now I've got to decide how I want to adhere it. I think I might just do it right there to there, and if it's a little frayed at the end, that's okay because it's kind of a cool look. But what I need to find, there it is I like to adhere it with some tear and tape. So I'm just going to do that. I'm going to clean up my edge. You're welcome, Serena. She's on YouTube right now, as a matter of fact. All right. Probably the easiest way is to kind of turn this. And I'm just going to go I think I'm going to go on this side, like right on the Designer Series paper, the petal pink paper. And I'm going just down to like right there. And then let me see if I can trim it off pretty good there. I'm going to sneak off a little, see if I can get off a little bit more. You can always kind of roll it back up on itself. We'll do that on both sides, but I'll just go ahead and adhere this one. But before I do that, I want to cut it exactly. So it's going to be 11.5 inches. So let's do it this way. I'll measure it right there. Then I'm going to cut right there, and hopefully that will be pretty good. And then we'll save that maybe for something else. All right, just make sure that's adhered on there good. And then you can peel it up just like that. And then I'm going to overlap just a tiny bit. Just make sure none of that tape, it's hard to see once you get it down, is not exposed. See, it's stretched out a little bit more, so I could go over here, trim off a little more. We're going to have fuzzies everywhere. But that's just going to give a pretty home feel. It's kind of warm and cozy is what I was going for, because my scrapbook space is my happy place. And that's what I wanted to scrapbook about today, using the Hobby Haven collection and that on display. There we go, that's good. It's always hard sometimes to figure out how to incorporate ribbon into your pages. So I tried to think ahead of time, because sometimes when I think about it, so see how that's kind of frayed? I think I'm going to come over here and kind of fray this one too. Like all the edges. They don't have to be clean, and kind of roughen it up a little bit to give it a little bit softer feel. And then we're going to cut right there. Okay. It's kind of like giving my hair a haircut. Y'all, I've cut my hair like 6 times in the last week. I even bought some thinning shears, and let me warn you before you attempt to do that yourself, be very, very careful, because I cut my hand and it did not feel good. That was on Sunday morning before church, and it's just now starting to heal shut, or I don't have to have a Band-Aid on it. Don't tell my hairdresser. She's in San Angelo. She knows that I cut my hair, but I haven't been sharing how much I've been cutting it. She's going to hate me if I ever go back to her and it's all mangled or something. All these different funny, weird layers. Okay, so let's bring in our photos. And don't let me forget, I want to create some hidden tags for my journaling, because I don't think I'm going to have, originally my plan was to put this over here and then have this for journaling, but then I added a photo and decided I should probably, hey Flo, how are you? I should probably do like some hidden journaling so that I can get it all on the page. All right, so this one I think is going to go over here, because this is kind of the last photo from all of what I've done. This was the photo of me tearing my studio apart, basically. So I've got two. What I did is to conserve paper, because I actually have some leftover 12 by 12 Coastal Cabana, well, a lot of the colors in the original cardstock that Stampin' Up has all their 8.5 by 11 cardstock in. So they stopped making that to do only the two-tone 12 by 12. Well, I don't have any two-tone 12 by 12 yet in the Coastal Cabana. So I'm going to have to pop these up, but I cut it so that these are 6 by 4. So I was able to get 1, 2, 3, 4 total. And then I printed my photos a little bit different size. I usually print them 4 by 6 with the border around them, the white border. And then I don't have to do any trimming on the 4 by 6s. Now, when I do smaller sizes, I have to cut them differently. But this time I did my photo size, I think this one is 3 3/4. I actually did my photo 3.5. 3.5 by 5.5. And then I left this like 1/8 inch border all the right way around. So it's about 1/4 of an inch or so. And it fits on there perfect. So I did that on all of these. And then this is how my plan was to put photos there. And then down here, I want to kind of center it here. And then I thought line it up here, and then I can move these out to where there's about enough on each side, about the same amount on each side over here. So that one would go approximately right there. These will probably all be popped up because I've got to get over this thick ribbon here. And then we'll position that somewhere right in here. I'll probably just position it centered right there. And then here's my title. I've got some pieces that I cut with the tags. So I've got a couple of different ones. I tried to do one dark side, light side. I'm not really sure where these are going. I just did a few of them. I think I might need something right down in here. See these boxes and stuff? Like I might cover that up. So maybe we'll do something like, I'm just throwing it down to see what, is that dark and light? I can't tell. I think all these are the same. I feel like I should have another one. I think it's hiding in my little stash of goodies. I kind of want to use this somewhere too, even though it's not about sewing, it's just about hobbies. But I'm not sure if I'm going to do that yet. We got to do the camera somewhere, and I think that's going to be part of my focal point up here, along with like paints. I was thinking the painting things, there's a easel here too. So some of that, I might do like a 3 little clusters around the title. And let me get all these out real quick and see. In my lighting, I can't really tell if one's darker. And I don't know that I'll need anything over here yet. I have this piece that I really like, but I'm not sure I have a place to put it. So I'm going to kind of put that over to the side as a maybe. Now these I cut specifically for these, and I was going to do like I might push that up a little bit higher and do like some hidden tags over here. There's the dark one. So these can pull out and have some journaling on them. I think this is, yeah. We'll do that over here. We'll do something down here. This little plant might be good. I have some flowers. And then not sure about that yet. This, oh, I think I was going to do something like this. I don't think I'm going to pop this one up. I think it's just going to be like a faux tag, but these will have some hidden journaling in them right there. Okay, and then we'll see the rest of this. My title's in here. There is a little coffee cup I kind of want to get in here somewhere because, you know, coffee is so important. I just don't know what to set it on. Maybe it can go over here. And then that'll bring in some of the pink. Yeah, I think that's perfect. I don't need much, just a little bit. And then there are some cute little hearts. And that might go somewhere. I don't know. I'll throw one over here. I wanted a little heart to stamp or do something right there, but these are a little big. Maybe I'll just put both of these over here somewhere in the title cluster. I don't know about those. Okay, so we're going to move that aside. Let's put some things down. I don't even know if I know what I did with it. Oh, 1 second. I bought some foam tape because I don't like to use my stamping dimensionals because it would take like several packages to do all of this. So I cheat a little bit and I buy these big rolls of foam tape to do my photos. So let's get those down. So this will take just a little bit of time. So tell me what y'all have been up to. Would love to know, like, what are you crafting on? What's the last thing you made? Kind of the whole point of all this, going live and sharing with you, is to encourage you to create with what you have. Even if you don't have this particular suite, you can grab something and recreate a similar scrapbook page. So if you have questions about dimensions on something, let me know, and I'll try to share that with you. I think that's going to be enough on all of that. Are you crafting with me right now or just sitting and watching? What time is it? It is 6:42 here in the Texas Hill Country. So I figured I would be done with this probably before 7:30 for sure. It usually takes about an hour and a half, it seems. And thank goodness I got so much prepped. All right, I have to remember that over here I can't put the foam tape on there like that. I've got to build a little pocket. So tell me, have you ever scrapbooked about your hobbies? What hobbies would you scrapbook about? All right, so before I do this one, I'm going to get all these down. Yeah, I was really excited about this, Serena, but it was very tedious today creating this, but I'm so glad I did. Now I'm going to make another one. I think I'm going to do something fun for Mail It Monday. Okay, I think I'll do it right there. I'm not going to do any extra techniques. I just made that decision. I love how my green shirt coordinates so pretty with the Coastal Cabana. Did I get it on there straight? Kind of look like I'm, oh, I think it's stuck, but oh well. Kind of feels a little crooked, but oh well. I'm not going to mess with it right now. Maybe I'll try to get it straighter later. I didn't try to rhyme. All right, and then here, yeah, I'm going to have to try to pull it up. Now this one I can tell is straight. I don't know. Don't know if I can get that up now. Oh well, I'm not going to mess with it, so just ignore I'll deal with it later. I'll have to get my, what do you call it? What am I thinking of? I know that those are going to go under there, my spatula, but I'm going to cut them, and because these are going to be faux tags. So I don't have to hide the whole thing under there. And then I can use the other part for something else later down the road. You've only scrapbooked one time? I got to get you scrapbooking, Serena. All right, so I think that's good. So don't tell anyone that this is crooked. Maybe no one will notice. Okay, so scissors. I wanted this one on the outside because of the paper right there. And I think I'll do that one on the front. So I want it to come, try. I can always cut more off. Doesn't have to be straight. It is going to tilt a little bit. Okay, that's pretty good. And then I might see if I can bring in, I don't know if I'll put any twine or any of that through there or not yet. And then that one's going to be even shorter, I think. Oh, I just remembered my nephew, Mason, is doing a playoff game tonight. I think it starts at 7:30. I'll have to see if we can pull it up and watch him tonight. He's like a superstar. So fun. Okay, all of those are down. So this one, I'll try to do better and get it straight. So Flo says she's been working on Thanksgiving cards and Christmas cards. All right. I made some, I guess they're Thanksgiving or just, I didn't, not specifically Thanksgiving, but I need to get those in the mail tomorrow. I have some for my team. All right. I was going to mail. I think I got that one straight. I'm going to move this out of the way a little bit. And she just got photos of the grandkids from Halloween, so she'll be putting some pages together soon. Awesome. And then right here, about the same. So I'm right at about an inch in right here. I could have gone a little farther that way, but I just chose to have the same width right there. All right, so this one, I know I'm going to use this thick one. I'll cut it a little bit longer maybe. All right, so there's the top. And then I'm going to flip it over this way. So I want it to be close to the edge up here on this side and this side. So let me do that. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom because we need to decide like how they're going to sit in here first. So just going to be opposite. I kind of cut them a little bit different, but I want you to be able to see them. I guess that'll work. Something like that. Let me go down just a little bit more. I feel like I want it to be a little bit more like that, but this one may end up going down a little bit more. Let's see what I can do here. So I'm going to hold it in place. Maybe I can try to move it right here. And let's see if I can, I think I can. I'm going to do a piece that's about the width of this one and put it right there. So it's going to stop when it gets in there, right there. And then let me see if I can do even a smaller piece that will stop this one right there. I don't know that it'll go side, if they'll angle or not like that, but whoops, I gotta flip this over to that. Okay, so I think that's gonna work. And then, of course, then you need a little bit to fill that bottom part in so it stands up. So right there, okay? And we can we'll move those, we'll take the backing off. So this is how you create your hidden journaling. And I'm just going to print a little white square of journaling to put on there just so you can still see this. And you know what this reminds me of? All of a sudden, it reminds me of a cutting board. So if you did it this way, you could do, this could be, oh, this could be for our cooking page later. I'll have to see if I remember that when it's time. All right, so now this one, I'm going to do the same thing and try to get about the same width and get it straight and lined up. And then we've got this piece and this piece. Yeah, these I think I definitely want to put some string on. And then this one, really, we can just go ahead and put this down. So I think I'll just use my glue. If I can unplug it, because I sat here and let it stay open. Give me 1 second. I could use my regular adhesive too, I suppose. All right, so we're just going to, oh, and see how I made a backing for it. So I cut it just a little bit smaller. And I think it was like 3.5 by 4 3/4 was the perfect size to make the backing. And then I attached it onto the backing with mini dimensionals and then built everything up and just placed everything inside the little parts. All right, so I think it's gonna go about right there. Okay, now let's move over here. We've got that done. We'll have this little cluster probably right down in here, and then that'll give us our visual triangle since we have a little cluster down here. So a little tricky part, I think. I'm gonna this up, and I think I'll just keep it white. This is Spotlight on Nature dye that I used, and I'm just wondering if I want to do like some sponging on it. I'm going to be, let me pull out my letters. I'm wondering, let's see, let me just get a few of these out, or all of these out. I cut the letters using the mini alphabet from the earthen toned metallic paper. That was part of the Autumn 12 Sweet Collection, I think, or it coordinated really well with that. So I have a few more bits and pieces here that I can use. Even that might be fun to have a little bit more of a cluster down here. That's where I can use maybe some of these fun. These are punch outs. You get 2 sheets of punch outs in your Designer Series paper pack. So lots to work with. Should I do some Coastal Cabana in the background? Just like real light. I'll have a little bit of Coastal Cabana going around. Not a lot. I was thinking putting that there. I'm going to put the title in there, down there in just a second. Then I thought I would do kind of like 3 clusters kind of around that, and maybe some of these poking out somewhere. So my colors are crumb cake, not technically, it's not technically in this suite of products, but I thought it worked really well with the, I didn't have any basic beige two-tone cardstock. So it's basic beige, pecan pie, and early espresso, and I brought in crumb cake because I just felt like that's kind of what that looked like. Some of these in between crumb cake and basic or pecan pie and basic beige. So I'm thinking, I haven't done any type of stamping yet, and I wonder if I might put, I'm going to set that aside for just a second. I want to kind of figure this out maybe. You remember at the beginning, if you were here, that I saved all these pieces from cutting out the white cabinet, and then they work really well with the sentiments. The only, I don't know, I like this one, talking about myself. You deserve all the good stuff. That would be a good one. And that would probably work really well with that. So we might have a sentiment right down here, and maybe I'll do that. There's also treat your shelf. That'd be great for a card. And then that might be it. So I'm going to pull that out, and then let's decide maybe, let me find it. You deserve all the good stuff. I'm going to do that one. And I think it's going to fit on this just perfect. Yes, it's going to fit on there just right. So I may do like early espresso because I'm going to move this out of the way. I've got this earthen toned over here, and then the title's going to be earthen toned. And then if I just do early espresso down here, but what would that look like, y'all? Is that what the metallic copper is like? So maybe I'll stamp it, and I think I'm going to do that. And that'll bring that in there too. Okay. And that won't take very long to do. So we'll do that in a minute. Let's build up our title up here. Did anybody have any suggestions if I should? Serena says she only scrapbooked a river cruise. How about we just do, we'll keep it subtle, and I'll do a little bit of petal pink behind, like right in the center, so you can kind of see it right there. Because we had, the elements are Coastal Cabana. So I'm looking for, let's see, a pink-ish. I don't know that I have a pink. There's one. Blending brush, just a second. I'm going to use my close to my heart ones because I have most of those in a color. I'm just going to see if I've got some color already on that. I'm doing the back side just to see if I need to clean this or not, which I probably do. I'm going to rub it on there for a second. So it lightened it up a little bit. Still got a lot of color in there. Give me a second. I may have to try something else. This one might work. Okay, I think I can use this one and I'll be okay. Let me flip that back over. And I'll use this. I got stuff everywhere. That kind of went crazy. I'm gonna grab, I think I have some scratch paper right here. Okay, so I just want a look like that. Okay, now I think I can go real light. I'll press a little bit more. I don't know if y'all can see it very well with the light. I think I'm gonna leave it just like that. So I have a little bit of shading there. Okay, now let's put down our, I'm gonna leave my silicone mat here because I love using it with my adhesive if I can find it, and my title. So we have Restoring. Before I even do that, I'm gonna adhere this down so it doesn't move around on me. Let me get all these pieces over here. Now my word is Restoring Joy. I'm looking for a trash can. I can't find my trash can. I have a table one. That's just easier to get to. I don't have to bend over. Alrighty, so let's position it about right there. Come down just a smidge. Okay, Restoring Joy. Restoring Joy. I have to squish my letters in pretty close, I think. I'm going to lay them out first. See how close I need them. Restoring. Okay. Joy. I'll go underneath. Looks like the O is going to be like right in the middle. So let's do that. We'll go up about halfway. And then we'll keep them pretty close. I don't think they have to necessarily overlap. They just have to be super close. See if I can get just a, let me find my tweezers. If you want to draw a faint line in there, you could do that. But I'm just going to eyeball it. Alrighty. And it's going to go right to the edge. And I decided I was okay with that. This was the biggest circle that I could die cut. So I thought about another title, but this one is the title of my restore. Yeah, I guess it's just the word restore has been my word for the year. And then over the course of the year, it's turned into restoring joy through crafting, through creativity, through scrapbooking. Of course, at the foundation of all that is Jesus. So this is my time, my place that I can come to, that I've not this particular room, but this my craft room has always been my place to come to create, to get my mind off of what's going on in life. So I might could shift everything this way just a little bit. I turn on some worship music and create and meet Jesus here. So it's just not necessarily just paper crafting restores my joy. The actual one that restores my joy is Jesus through the art of creating. All right, I think that's going to be a little bit better. And since I'm not using liquid glue, then I'm able to kind of pop these up and reposition. I think that'll work. Okay, now I can kind of push it down. Now let's do the center of joy. And I'm just going to do it right there. I think so. I may move it because I have a little bit more of my title I need to print out. I could put it right underneath, or I could move this over and add it there. So I'm probably going to try to print it real quick. I have it already on my computer. I was looking for what did I do with the piece of white willow that I said I could use later? There it is. Okay, I'm going to take this 6x12 piece of white willow and I'm going to cut it at 4. So it'll give me a 4x6 inch. I can run this through my computer. Yeah, I think it's ready to go. And my journaling is tube. I'll show you my journal. Well, I won't print it yet. Let me put this in my printer real quick. That can be printing and be ready for us in a few minutes. I just print it like I'm printing a photo, except it prints out my journaling. All right, so that's working. And now we can move over to here. We'll come back to this in just a second. I've got all these pieces. I got to decide where they're going to go. Something kind of like that. I may have to bring this down a little bit further or bring it out. Not sure. Okay, so like real quick, let's do, I have to go right here in the middle, I think. You know what I'm actually going to do? Smooth this out of the way just a bit. I love this countertop because it's so sturdy and flat and even. I'm going to do I don't know. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good color. Metallic copper. And I want to take my anti-static and just rub that over. And hopefully I won't have a lot of excess powder stuck to it. And then you deserve all the good stuff. Tell yourself that. Oh, look at what I did. Because I made such a mess earlier. Let's clean that or we're going to get pink. 1 second. I got to find my all right, so I guess I'll do it on the other hand because I just made a mess with that hand. Okay, we'll ink it up using the Versamark ink pad. It's always hard to tell on white. Don't know that I got it very straight, but we're going to go with it. I actually don't think I've used this before. One second. I need to. Guess I need to remove that little bit right there. I need a little brush. I want to get that excess. Okay. Let me. Let's see. Hopefully that's going to match pretty well. I think it's going to. Oh yeah. And I'm just gonna clean this up in a little bit. Set all this aside for a second. So there's our You Deserve All the Good Stuff. Yes, it's very, very close to the earth and toned. Makes me happy. Cardstock or metallic paper. Look at that. Let me see if I can get it over here where the lighting is not. Yes, it looks good, y'all. All right. So then I'm going to pile this stuff up on top. So these, I just have to decide kind of where they're going to go. I'm going to try to cover up like this box of stuff that I just left there that, let's see, I have some Versamark on here. I think I'm scared I tried to clean it off and it didn't come off very well. Guess I got to try again a little bit better. So I'll do it up. I'm going to kind of do it like this. So we don't have to see that. And then I'll just kind of let it float there. So this can go somewhere right in here. Let me kind of figure out where. Don't want to cover too much stuff up. Okay, I'm going to put some dimensionals on the back of this. And I think I'm going to put it down first. So if I at least do these, then, okay, so I'm going to do it about right there. So like right in here. I'm going to just tape this one down. And then this one, I think I will put on a dimensional. And that one, I'm not sure I need any of that stuff. I don't think so. I don't know, maybe I should tuck that one back up in there. I think I will. So I'm going to get a mini, maybe. Mini glue dot, or not glue dot, dimensional. I don't know, even know if you'll be able to see that white. I'm going to put it right there and put a little glue on it. So now aren't you glad that I did all that ahead of time? That would take hours to show y'all how to do that. With all the die cutting and everything. So just when I'm doing my scrapbooking layouts, I've got to plan ahead. All right, I love that. Yeah. So that's going to work really well. Now let's just finish up this title, and then we'll see if there's any other little doodads to add, and maybe find some dots that'll go with this really well. Gotta see, I want this like really bad on here. Maybe I'll just pop it up so it goes out over here. About right there. What do y'all think? Don't think I have anything. Let me, you're the best. I don't know that I want to say I'm the best. Don't want to be like that so much. Hello. Treat your shelf. There's really nothing on here. I mean, you could do like the globe on there or something painted, but I don't want to take the time to do that right now. So I'll figure out what's going to go on there later, but let's just get it down. Figure out where I want to add it. Scissors. Just going to cut some of these apart. If I can use them all. Let's put one right up here. May overlap, so I may have to pull some of these off. I'm not sure. Maybe I can push that down a little bit more and just do it like right there. I have to make up my mind, Pamela. I think I am going to cut these down just a little bit more. I'm going to cut them like this. Don't think I want it to touch. I stick it. I'm going to take this one off. And probably this one. And do I think if I go about right there and in between the I and the N, I think that's going to work. And then I'll see if I need to tuck anything underneath these, or it might just, the dots around might just be good. So I wanted to do the camera because I'm a scrapbooker. And then somewhere right like that. We're almost done. We're getting close. I might can tuck one right under here. Let's see here. I'm not sure. Let me get my tweezers and see if I can tuck it up under there. Oh no. Oh. Because it's kind of under the paintbrushes and the... Okay, that's going to work. And my journaling's going to go in here. I'll have to do that off camera here in a little bit. Don't know that I want to mess with these, but let me see. Just going to separate these. This might be a little too small, but I can't tie them in a knot. I know that, so let me just see if I can get them in there. That would be just enough. Now let me do a little bit longer piece. Before I do that, I'm going to look at my stash. Haha. I already have some ready that I haven't used. Perfect. It's like, I love this stuff. So now I can go behind it. This, I think I can do a bow with. Okay, pull that up. Just these little added things really help. You know what? I was just thinking, Serena, are you still on here? Because I just realized that it is like super late where you're at. If it's 7 o'clock here, it's got to be what time is it there? Aren't you 7 hours ahead of me? I'm trying to figure out I don't know which piece is the tail. There we go. Okay, that just adds a little more softness to the page. That's why we originally, it's kind of turning funny, but I can make it do whatever. One, two, three. Let's see here. I'm going to see if I can get 3 more pieces like that. And then I promise I'm almost done. These look thick, but 2:30 a.m. What are you still doing up? Oh my goodness. Of course, I shouldn't laugh because I was up probably that late night before last working on one of my artisan assignments. But I try not to do that much anymore. So I guess you're a night owl. See if I can just try to do another one. Goodness. I didn't even get them all in there. Good grief. I'll use another one of these. But you know, if I do these, I have to do those over there too. Okay, I think I got under all of them this time. Well, I know when we're meeting on Zoom at 2:30, it's already late where you're at. It's usually what, 8:30 or 9:30? I think 9:30. So I didn't even realize when you popped on, I was like, until now, that I was like, it's really late there. Well, thanks for hanging out with me, but you should probably go get some rest. All these last little details. Okay, I gotta find. I am making the biggest mess, y'all. So I can do some there and some over here, and then we'll call it done. I think I'm going to do this off camera for time's sake. Oh, that was my dots. Where did they go? Because it's 7:30. That ribbon makes all the little fuzzies everywhere. So I think I'm going to do probably just so far I think that's all I've used are the desert sand ones. Pecan pie, I'm still saying close to my heart colors, and that was like a really, really old close to my heart color. And then I think I'm going to do a little one down here, maybe. I'm going to pop this one up like that. Might even do it up a little bit higher. They're coming up okay, maybe. Let's see. There we go. So kind of have a triangle effect going on there. And then we'll just do those two, and then, oh, I never did use those little hearts. Look, I'm going to put that little heart there real quick. Oh, don't you? Oh my goodness. Y'all wait just a second. I got cats jumping up here that are just about to knock off my drinks on the window shelf. Oh, what I wanted to do over here is see if I needed to have something come out. Or maybe it just needs to go up over here. Because there's a lot going on already. I'll just leave that and I'll do this. Focus it right up here. Alrighty. Then my journaling. Just the one last little thing I want to do. I'll put one down here. There we go. Actually didn't even, well, yeah, didn't leave room for that, but let's do. So that was a 4x6. So I've got some journaling here, but it's not going to fit unless maybe I cut it. I think maybe that's what I'll do. I can cut it apart, but not all of it. So I'm going to have to reduce it. I think I'm going to do this and just make it smaller to fit in here on a little square piece. And then I might put something else right there, maybe the date and whatnot. So that'll be, I'm not sure this will be my exact journaling yet. So I didn't decide that, but I do want to do this one page at a time. Restoring Joy. So that's my primary craft is scrapbooking. So I wanted to focus on that. And I'll probably do my journaling a little bit more, make it a little bit more personal to my faith journey, I think. That'll probably work good right there because I was originally up here somewhere. how about we just do it like right there? Yep. I'm going to do, got to find my mini glue dots. My mini dimensionals, I mean. I can't call anything the right thing. Okay. It's going to be on top of there, so about the middle. And then not all the way to the end because it's going to hit that. Whoops, that was the wrong side. Let me try another one. About right there. Oh, that's not going to work either. It's got to be further. See if I can reuse this one. There we go. Okay, and then that will be done. I'll finish my page with the little, it's more of the, what do you call it? Forgot to put some adhesive right there. There we go. Okay, restoring joy one page at a time. You deserve all the good stuff. And then I'll put my twine, more of my ribbon over here on both of those, and plus my journaling, and it'll be done. So thanks for joining me tonight, y'all. Get some rest, Serena. And everyone take care. Let me know what you think about the Hobby Haven collection. Tonight we did more like our paper crafting hobby. At least I did my craft studio. So I wasn't too concerned about the specifics as far as all the, at first I thought, oh, how can I make paper to go into here? I think the books work well, but it goes with it. Look, it works. I even thought, how can I make like little things of the artisan on here? You could do that too if you wanted to. What else? But this could be any type of craft room, sewing room, stitching room. This is primarily, I think, goes with sewing mostly, but it works. It works. So I had fun. You've got your elements that come in the punch outs. You get 2 sheets of the punch outs with all the designer series paper, and you've got the sewing, the hobby. You've got the spa that we did last week. If you weren't here or didn't see, I'll just share real quickly. These are my pages from last week. How fun were those? That was a spa day that I had. So lots you can do with this. There's probably like 4 or 5 different themes that you could go with. So thanks for joining me. Y'all have a great evening, and I'll see y'all next week on Thursday. Oh, what's the date? The 20th? Yeah, my plan is to be live on the 20th. I feel like there was something happening that may be team related with the Rubber Queens team. So I may have to record it, but I'm not sure yet. So I'll let you know in the next couple of days what's happening there. Thank you, Flo. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great rest of your week. I'm going to be going and visiting Bevan tomorrow in San Marcos, and I'm going to go clean up my hand. So I'm looking forward to that. And then I think we have a quiet weekend. So hope y'all have a great one. God bless you all, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye.